With a captivating and reflective voice, welcome to a journey through one of the greatest civilizations humanity has ever known. Ancient Egypt. Here, on the banks of the mighty Nile River, began a story that stretched over thousands of years and continues to astonish us to this day. Prepare yourself as we dive into the depths of this mesmerizing history, where glory meets myth, and secrets become part of daily life. Transition to a scene of the calm Nile River at sunrise. From here, from the eternal Nile River, everything began. The Nile was not just a river, it was the lifeblood that pulsed through the heart of ancient Egyptian civilization. Its annual floods brought life and fertility to the barren lands, allowing the ancient Egyptians to build a thriving agricultural society on its banks. But what made this civilization endure through the ages? Scene of the pyramids standing tall under a clear sky. When we think of ancient Egypt, the first thing that comes to mind is the pyramids, these colossal structures that defied time and adversity. The pyramids of Giza, especially the Great Pyramid of Khufu, were not just tombs for the kings, but symbols of an unyielding power, embodying their belief in the afterlife. The Sphinx, that enigmatic creature with a human head and a lion's body, stood as a silent guardian of this eternal glory. Transition to scenes of pharaohs and grand temples, but Egypt was not built by stone alone. The pharaohs, those kings who ruled as gods on earth, were a force to be reckoned with. Ramses II, who immortalized his name at Abu Simbel Temple, was not just a military leader but a symbol of an era of power and prosperity. And though Tutankhamun was a young, mysterious king who ruled for only a short time, his golden treasures, which astounded scholars, have secured his place in history. Scene of Karnak Temple showcasing its grandeur. The temples, like the majestic Karnak, were not just places of worship but centers of political power. The inscriptions on the walls tell the stories of kings, gods, and victories. Here, in the heart of these temples, Egyptians wrote their eternal tales through stone and sculpture. Scene of hieroglyphic writings on temple walls, with lighting highlighting them. Hieroglyphics, those mysterious symbols, were their way of documenting everything, from religion to daily life. These writings remained a secret until the discovery of the Rosetta Stone, which unlocked the mysteries of one of the world's oldest languages, giving us a window into the life of the ancient Egyptians. Transition to scenes of Egyptian gods and statues in temples. The Egyptian gods were an essential part of the ancient Egyptian way of life. The sun god Ra, Isis, the goddess of love and motherhood, and Osiris, the god of the underworld, all formed a complex religious system aimed at ensuring immortality in the afterlife. The mummification rituals and royal tombs, designed for an eternal journey, show us how deeply the Egyptians were connected to the idea of life after death. Transition to a daily scene showing ancient Egyptians working in fields or trading in markets. But life in ancient Egypt was not just about pharaohs and gods. Here, along the banks of the Nile, farmers toiled, artisans crafted beautiful jewelry and pottery, and merchants traded goods from the far south to the far north. Each individual in this ancient society contributed to building the civilization that continues to inspire us today. Scenes of invasions, starting with the Hyksos and then transitioning to Alexander the Great entering Egypt. But Egypt was not isolated from the outside world. Throughout its history, it faced invasions. The Hyksos came and settled, but the Egyptians regained their strength. Then came Alexander the Great, who ushered Egypt into a new era, the era of the Ptolemies, marking the start of a new chapter in its history. Panoramic scene of the pyramids at sunset. As the sun sets over the pyramids, we conclude our journey through time. Ancient Egypt is not just pages in history books. It is a civilization that crafted glory and left an indelible mark on humanity. From the Nile River to the gods, from the pharaohs to the pyramids, this is the legacy of a civilization that defied time. Our journey may have ended, but the story of ancient Egypt